Hi, and welcome to another episode of I'm Making It Happen. I'm Nicole Tyson, and today we are outside of my girlfriend's closet. We have the pleasure of talking to Khnuma Simmonds-Essanason. Now, she's not only the owner of my girlfriend's closet, but she's also the director of DIVASAC, which is the Virgin Islands Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault Council. So we're going to find out more about how she's been able to make it happen in both of her passions. Come with me.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here with us.
Pleasure. No,
Thank you. It's been awesome trying to, work our schedules, and
Yes.
I'm glad we were able to make it happen.
That's right, we did make it.
Definitely. And so, we just want to talk about, you're always making it happen. You're always out there. You're so positive, helping so many people. And we just want to talk about how are you able to be positive and keep maintaining that while you're making it happen.
Well, I think, for one, making it happen for me means that I'm taking my vision and my hopes and my faith and my desires, and I'm putting that into action. And so for me, it's very natural, I guess, to be positive. It's not something that I try to do, even though I think we should all be positive, but I think it comes naturally for me most times because I spend most of my days, my weeks, and my months doing all of the things that I'm very passionate about. So I'm very passionate about my business and the reason that I'm in it. I'm very passionate about DIVASAC and the work that we're doing to help victims and survivors. I also teach soca Caribbean dancing classes, honey.
Yes.
And I am very passionate about movement and the way women feel when they are free, whether it be through fashion, through fitness, or through empowerment. So
Yes, and she has a crazy schedule.
I do.
Because she runs from one thing to the next. I do not know how you're able to do it. And then she's also a new mom, well, 3 years old.
Yes, I know, it's still new. I think you'll be, 45 and it'll still feel new. I don't know that you ever master the art of being, somebody's parent, but it's definitely still new.
You're so positive because you're moving towards things that you love to do.
Absolutely. And I think sometimes when people find themselves very angry or upset or a little bitter, it could be because they're not spending most of the time of their day doing the things that they really want to do.
Right.
And for me, what I'm also very passionate about and very excited about is the fact that everything that I do, it comes together for my main purpose, which is to empower women. Okay. So even though my schedule is crazy and I'm running from one place to the next, and for many people in the community, it's like, you wear so many different hats. I do. Yes. But my passion for every hat is the same. And so for me, making it happen is also knowing what is your purpose in life? Like, why are we all here? Yes. I think it's probably the artist in me that I can't do just one thing. I want to do everything. And I don't believe when people say, oh, you can't do it all. You may not be able to do it all at the same time, but I definitely think in this lifetime you can do it all, or at least die trying, honey.
I also want to talk about the ways people can make it happen. Because not only in business and pursuing passions, right? But also in getting their life together.
Oh, absolutely.
So just in talking about DIVASAC, I want to talk about the things that you offer with DIVASAC, being the director. That's a major role that you have in the community for women or men. If you are in a relationship that's not healthy, and you feel that you need to make a change, and then you start making those progressive moves to make a change, that's making it happen, right?
Absolutely.
I had a friend, a classmate, that lost her life from what has been said is the domestic situation, domestic violence. And what do you have to say to women or individuals in unhealthy relationships in regards to how you can provide the counsel, and then how they can make it happen to not only for themselves, but then also for their children?
It can be very hard to leave a relationship because you invested so much into it, but you can't bounce back from dead. You can bounce back from, sadness and hurt and pain from leaving a relationship, but at least you can bounce back. In terms of making it happen to get out of an unhealthy relationship, it's about knowing who you are and what it is that you want. So you have to first want something different. In the kind of work that we do, we work with prevention. So we have partners who work directly with victims. We work with the prevention side. So I get the fortunate side of all of this because I get to look at how can we prevent this from happening altogether? So if it's a relationship that you're in that you're not happy with, that you feel is not healthy, and you have a vision of being happy, but that's not where you are, then you have to start to put the actions, putting the plan for the actions in place, so that way you can get to the point where you're not just envisioning a healthy and happy relationship, but you're actually manifesting a healthy and a happy relationship. To be able to know what we are going to accept and what we're not going to accept and what we want in a relationship, we need to know who we are and what makes us happy. So it takes a lot of soul searching to determine how you see yourself in a relationship, and so you can know what you need to do within that relationship to make it healthy, but also to know what you might need to do if you want to get out of that relationship. And I will say that in addition to knowing yourself, it definitely takes a support system. So it's not even always what the person in it can do, but what we can do as a community to help them as well. Whether it's looking for the signs of where things may have changed, whether they may have gained or lost weight, whether they started to lose their hair, whether they were very social and then they're not social. For us to be very aware and cognizant of the people who are around us and how they're reacting to certain situations, so we can try to be a little bit more in tune. Now, for someone who's in that situation, they're not always the one to walk around with a poster and say, hello, I need help. I don't think anyone is, because a lot of times when you get to a point where you're in an abusive relationship, sometimes people see that as a failure upon themselves to have a successful relationship. But knowing the resources that are available, like domestic violence, sexual assault counsel, like I said, we are prevention, but if someone ever called us, we can refer them to the proper agencies who can provide them with help so they don't feel like they are alone. We're never alone in this world. We always have options. We have resources. Even if our family may not be there, there are people who do care. And so DVSAC is an agency that definitely cares, and I do appeal to our community to also to care, so that way we can try to prevent situations like that.
Let's tell those that are watching how they can contact you through DVSAC and what programs you guys have right now that they can take advantage of.
Right. So Virgin Islands Domestic Violence Sexual Assault Council, so DVSAC for short, we are a territorial agency. So we are located on St. Croix, St. Thomas, and St. John, and we can be reached via phone at 340-719-0144. Folks can also contact me via email at info@vidvsac.net, vidvsac.net. We're also on Facebook, so we do ask folks to like the page, so that way even if they're not in a situation, they might have a friend, they can get the information that's coming through on our page to them. It might have resourceful information there, and our Facebook page is facebook.com/vi.dvsac. And so, again, our work is with the prevention part of it. And so we do work heavily into the schools. We work with the students from Head Start, talking about comfortable and uncomfortable touch, secrets and why secrets may not be good, and when secrets are fun, but how they can turn into something that's bad, all the way up to the college level as well, where we're talking about sexual violence on campus and sexting and dating violence and alcohol and all of those things. So we do a lot of work in the schools, and then we do a lot of campaigns and outreach as well. And also remembering that we're all human, so even if we all have a smile on our faces day to day, it doesn't necessarily mean that we don't have problems too. So, as friends, especially, maybe as an acquaintance, we may not always have an opportunity to, to say, well, is something happening? You look totally fine, but is something happening? That's not something that naturally comes to us, right? But, as friends, sometimes it's important to just, take time out of the day and say, hey chica, or what's up dude, I'm just really thinking about you, I hope everything is okay. And when they realize that they really have a friend that cares about them, that might just be an opportunity for them to open up about something if they are going through a situation. And if it's not, they know that if they are going through something in the future, that they can still contact you.
Very good point. Thank you for that. So let's get into my girlfriend's closet. I've been to your events. We're on partner Lady Influence with the Turban Party. That was real cool. And yesterday you had another event.
Yes, we had a last slot Mother's Day shopping social. And so we featured Liz Popo. She has Zapata sterling silver jewelry, which you're wearing.
Lovely.
And we also had new designs from Kaya Hill of Ishan Designs, which I'm wearing. And the ring is also
nice.
We had a girlfriend, Stinnett Daria. She wears wears many hats also. She is a consultant with Virgin Islands Coaching and Consulting. She makes the best cheesecakes ever.
It was so good.
Lived until you've had her cheesecake.
Yes.
And she also does some shopping for accessories. I'm actually wearing her cuff right now.
Ooh.
And so that's what my girlfriend's closet is all about. We had Lonnie McGackin, who is going to be sharing space with my girlfriend's closet very soon, and she works with essential oils.
Yes.
And so, you know, that's the atmosphere we try to create at my girlfriend's closet. That, you know, the fashion and our exterior is very important. But again, this is why I love my work with DVSAC, but this is why I also like this aspect of my work at my girlfriend's closet, is that we also want to address what's happening internally. Because oftentimes beauty shines from in outwards.
Right.
And so if you're not happy, if you're not healthy, sometimes that shows in our exterior. So we want the fashion, of course, but we also want to host events like this so girlfriends can get together, fellowship, have a sisterhood, and then also get to network. So we support other women who have businesses as well. And so I'm always open if there's anyone who's looking and you have a business having to do with fashion, or even if it doesn't, we'll use fashion as an excuse to get folks here.
Yes.
But then once we do get them here, we'll introduce them to your business. And so, you know, a lot of folks sometimes talk about competition, especially when it comes to women, like, oh, Joel, I don't want people to shop at this store and this store and that store. You know, it's another woman. I want to support her.
Definitely.
She's local, even better. And so, you know, we have to keep the money circulating amongst each other.
Definitely. And what I like about coming here is that it's like, you know, barbershop.
Yes.
The movie. So it's like the barbershop, but for women, right?
Exactly.
And we talk about so many different things, and then you get enlightened because you have so many different ages.
Right.
You know, so then you learn some things that you wasn't thinking you're going to learn that day.
Exactly, that's true.
You know, some topics. You won't go there exactly what to talk about. You know, it's really interesting, and you feel like it's like a breath of fresh air because you are able to talk about issues, women issues, and community issues, and social issues that you can express, that you might not just express on every day.
Exactly. And then, you know, it's a safe environment because it's women who, you know, have similar goals and values as yourself, so then you feel a little bit more comfortable. I definitely didn't get here at my girlfriend's closet by myself. Actually, the inspiration was from my mother, my sister, and my niece. For those who know us, before they moved away, we were like this. We were everywhere together. We've done plays at the Caribbean Community Theater together. We've done we are just quite a unit. And so they were my inspiration for my girlfriend's closet. I always felt like when I was with my mom, my sister, and my niece, I could talk about anything. I could conquer anything. They always uplifted me. And I didn't take it for granted because I realized that not all women have that same experience in their homes or with their friends. And so I want this to always be that place where if a woman is passing by and she's not having a good day, even if she doesn't have $1 in her bag to spend on any of this, that she can come in here and she leaves feeling like the queen that she is.
Right.
And that's, if I do nothing else, if I don't make $1 out of the day, but I do that, then my day is done. I made it happen. But what I pushed, especially when I first opened, and this has changed a little bit because as the economy changed, my intention with the business kind of had to change. But what was interesting with the four of us, we all had very different styles. So when I first opened my store, the girlfriend's closet was literally set up like a closet, so very cozy, so you feel like you're walking into your girlfriend's closet. But then they also had different styles. And so you had clothing for the chic trendsetter, which represented me. So I also had pieces for the classy professional woman who, you know, may not want the bold pieces, eccentric pieces so much, but they do want, you know, something that's classy that they could do from work day to night. So the comfy athlete was inspired by my mom. When I first opened, you would come into the girlfriend's closet and you would have these 4 different girlfriends, and we would try to learn about the women who came into our store, and based on what they did or their style and the things that they like, we could say, well, we think you'll like something from the classy professional, or you'll like something from the chic trendsetter. And so we kind of use that as a guide for you know, having our girlfriends, we don't call them customers, they're our girlfriends, who, you know, a way for us to learn about them, but then for them to know how they can shop at the store. But that was the inspiration for the name.
I love the name.
Thank you.
And you dressed me today.
I did. So you would be the chic trendsetter.
I'm the chic trendsetter.
Yes, very eccentric, bold, but still very fashionable, very sexy. Not, you know, afraid to show a little shoulder here and there. And for me, I could be in between, but I did a little bit more of the classy professional. Not so much that I would wear this to work, but because I have a longer sleeve, a longer skirt. So I did a little bit more of the conservative piece today.
Okay.
So that way you could do the chic trendsetters.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. And so she really hooked me up today. So
Yeah,
I love this outfit very
Yes.
much. The shoes, love it, love it, love it. So you guys have to definitely come here and check it out because she can hook you up.
Please do. And then one other thing I want to mention too is that we try to be conscious shoppers. So we have, raised money for the mammography center in the past. We have, contributed a portion of our sales to CASA and different nonprofit organizations that are helping women in our community. And so girlfriends who shop here could also know that in addition to walking out feeling good, that most times a percentage of their sale is going to go towards a charity. So when we reopened in last October, we raised funds for the Jam Fund, which is named after Jeanette McGrath, who actually 2 years ago in May, she was murdered by her husband. And so the fund was named after her. And so the fundraiser that we did here was actually in her honor.
Wow.
And so a portion of the funds went to her fund. And so when we reopen in October, we would have a similar feel, but we will do it for another fund. So another fund could benefit, but it will be benefiting women at the end of the day.
That's
and
really,
then raising awareness on different causes.
Really cool to know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I get to bridge my nonprofit world with my retail shop. And then soon we're going to be transforming the space to have my private dance studio in the back. So I'll get to do some Caribbean dance fitness. We do have our courtyard. So I want this to kind of be the healing center for women.
Yeah.
They can shop, dance, have workshops, do all kinds of things.
It's an eclectic thing, and I think that would be a great addition to Christian's Day.
I think
the
so
feel,
too.
you know?
Yeah, and St. Croix in general.
And I want to know, has there been any struggles that you've experienced? Because you're so positive. Do you go through anything?
Absolutely, because before being a business owner or being an executive director, any of that, I'm human first. So absolutely, I have experienced domestic violence myself. I have definitely experienced challenges with my business in this economic time, but I've had to remain creative. Keep in mind that anytime that there's difficulty, it's trying to take me on a path that I'm supposed to be on. It's bringing me closer to my purpose, and there's something to learn from it. And so part of the staying positive is even in my worst and darkest moments, I don't always feel social or don't always want to smile, but I know deep down in my heart that it's only for a time. And that whatever it is on the other end of it, there's going to be something greater for me, because God has something in store for all of us, for all of our lives. And so in knowing that and having trust and faith in that, I just don't find myself being depressed very often, even in the worst moments, because there's still always hope.
Yeah, I know. You like you said, you've been through, I didn't even know that you experienced those things. What was the mindset to help you maintain?
Right.
And keep, not just maintain, but then thrive, pull yourself up and then keep striving.
Right, definitely the support system. That was it. I mean, in addition to, like I said before, knowing that there's going to be a better day until you get there. Sometimes each day is like a living hell. But because I always had a support system, my same girlfriends, the very girlfriends that come to the store, have helped me in one way or another. The support, if I didn't have the support, then the world could seem very, very lonely and get very small very quickly. Because even though we're around people all the time in a small community, you don't always find people who care and show interest beyond, oh, hi, how are you?
And they keep
moving.
What I mean?
And they keep moving. They don't wait for the response, right?
But
it's like, well, so.
But I wasn't telling you. They're gone.
They're like long gone to the next person.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're all guilty of it.
Right.
In my crazy schedule, sometimes I'm even guilty of it. But sometimes, when you hear about tragedies like, your girlfriend and things like that, there's never a way to ever justify it. It can't be justified, but it does serve as a reminder to all of us that maybe the next time we ask someone how they're doing, for us to really take a pause, take a minute, and just see how they respond. For me, my girlfriend's closet is creating that space for people who may not have a mom and a sister and a niece like I do. And I have an awesome dad too. I can't leave him out of it. He's been a blessing. Not everyone has that. So at least my girlfriend's closet could be a space for someone who may not, and they might need just the support or just need an ear. Yeah.
And I'm glad you said that, because I was going to say not everybody has that support.
Right.
So then what recommendations did you have for them? But you just said, hey, come to my girlfriend's closet.
Come to my girlfriend's closet.
Build your support system here.
Absolutely.
you know?
Yeah, and there are always a lot of different fun, cool events
always
going on the island. And again, if you're going through a domestic violence situation, sometimes you may not want to socialize. So sometimes that may not always be the best option. But if you can, or if you do feel like just getting out, even if you don't talk to folks, but you're out of that situation, you're in a different environment, it can help someone to kind of think a little clearly, to feel a little bit more optimistic about life. But not only that, it's just sometimes just having one or two people that you can have in the moment of a crisis or emergency that you can count on them.
Yeah, I want people to understand that they're not by themselves.
Right.
There's so much help out there. There's too many programs, and there's too many people willing to help you make it happen, not just in your business, not just in work stuff, but in your personal life, in your relationships, and just getting yourself together. Seek out the help.
Right.
And there is help out there in anything you're looking for. There is somebody that will and that can help.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're never alone in a violent situation or relationship or in any situation. I mean, I've had economic challenges. So is just about every other business on the street. So I can't feel like I'm by myself. There's been domestic violence. There's so many other people who have been through it, and some people don't even know how to define it. So they don't even realize that they're in a domestic violence situation until they're out of it, and they're like, "Oh, now I understand why I wasn't comfortable, why I wasn't happy, because I was being abused." So, but there's so many other people, and only until we start to have conversations with each other can we say, "Oh my God, you experienced that too? Oh, I had that experience," and then we can be a support for each other. But if we don't talk, if we don't share, if we're not open, then we do feel like we're alone, even though there are people all around the room, because we don't know that we have shared experiences with people.
And I'm glad you said that they might not even know they're in an abusive relationship, because domestic violence doesn't just mean physical.
Absolutely. Right.
It could be emotional, psychological,
social too.
Isolating yourself, making it feel like there's no one else.
Right, exactly. If there's one car for the family and you decide you want to go see your family on a Sunday, and all of a sudden, they have somewhere to go, so you can't go. And then sometimes you find that someone might be locked in a house. There's false imprisonment also, where folks can be locked into a house and they can't get out. And people say, "Well, how were you in prison?" "Well, I couldn't get out." "So why didn't we see you at the event?" "Well, I couldn't get out the house, and the only card that we have, it's never available to me to do the things that I want to do, only to do the things that my partner wants to do." And so those are all things, whenever someone has power or so much control over your life, then it's a time to kind of reassess that relationship.
And I'm glad we're having this conversation with you, because you're a powerful woman.
Oh, thank you.
I feel that
too.
Thank you. But how were you able, I know you said they had the support, but not just the support, because sometimes people have support, but they don't use the support, and they don't change your mindset. So what was it in you that said that domestic situation that you were in was not the end all be all? You deserve more, and what change did you make personally?
Right. Well, it's an important question, because you have to be ready. Not everyone is ready, and a lot of times this is where it goes. Domestic violence relationships, it really causes you to go deep, 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 deep to see, well, why is it that I would stay in a relationship? Sometimes, a lot of times, financial is definitely a factor. So if you're not a breadwinner, if you don't have a way to support yourself and your children, that's one of the situations where someone can say, "You know what, it just is easier for me to stay. At least my children have food on the table. I'll endure the abuse so they can eat." And so many mothers, make that sacrifice for their children. And unfortunately, it's not until it's an extreme physical situation then they say, "Oh my God, well, we're going to have to sacrifice maybe dinner. Let's try to get to breakfast. Let's just try to get to safety, and maybe we'll get breakfast tomorrow." But I think for me, because I have always had a father that told me, "You are beautiful. You are a queen. You deserve the best." I always knew that in my heart. I've always had a mother who is fiercely independent up until this day. If she calls, the plumber to come and fix some pipes, and he's not there in 24 hours, she's in the toilet trying to figure out how to plumb herself. She's not waiting for anybody to do that for her. And so I've had that example as to how do you just make things happen for yourself, even if people don't come to your rescue or don't come to help you. So I've been fortunate to have that upbringing, but I do realize, and why I'm very sensitive to people who may stay or may not have left when we may have thought they should have, is because not everybody has that. Not everyone sees themselves as a queen or as a powerful woman. Not everyone believes that they could actually have a business or could actually be independent. It takes a process. It takes time to get to that point where they have that strength in themselves, where they see themselves that way. There's so many people who are raised in homes and in households where they're told that they're stupid, they would never amount to anything. They've never seen anyone around them, be independent or go towards dreams for themselves. And so if that's all they know, then when they do get into a violent situation, all they know is how to accept violence because they don't know that they're supposed to want something different. So it takes time for them to get to know themselves and get to that point where they feel that they deserve more also.
So, and I understand that, but how we went, what now with this, because it's going to go to a lot of people. So they might watch this and say, well, if Khnuma did it,
right,
then I could do it too.
Absolutely.
What would you say to them in regards to that?
Right. So I would say you're not alone. You're never alone. Even if you don't have, like we said, the support system in your immediate family or your within your circle of friends, there are people. I care. I don't even need to know who you are. If you're in a domestic violence situation, I care, and I want to do what I can do to help. And there are other people, there are victim advocates 24 hours on the clock with our partners who want to help. So know that you're not alone. Secondly, know that you are worthy. You are worthy of all the things that you want in life. You are worthy of being happy and being in a healthy relationship with yourself and with other people. And so you don't deserve to be mistreated or to be called names or to be abused at all. You are worthy, you are not alone, and you can make it happen. You can get past this, and you will get past it. Once you start taking the steps that you need for yourself, let folks know so they can come in and help you, and get professional help, because sometimes, again, our friends sometimes may want to help, but then they're not sensitive, they don't know the complexities of the issue. So seek professional help, because professional help is available. So I would want to say definitely those three: you're not alone, you're worthy, and seek help, because you can make it happen.
What are 5 things that you would say that someone could implement in their lives to make it happen?
So first, I would definitely say know what you want. If you don't know what you want, then you can kind of be moving around in life, never really knowing what direction you're supposed to go in or should go in or want to go in. So knowing what you want to do. Like for me, I want to empower women. So everything that I do connects back to that. And so knowing what you want is definitely a good starting point. Then secondly, I would definitely say having the support system or surrounding yourself with resources. So when I was interested in having my business, I went to other business women so I could know what their experiences were, so they can help to guide me. Do you have any tips or suggestions? And then, thirdly, also knowing that I wasn't alone in it. So I knew that there are going to be other people who are going to have the same experience. And so I don't have to do it by myself. I can bring other girlfriends with me on the journey. And so it just makes it more fun. It's like you don't want to live life by yourself. You want to have people to share the success with. And so I bring all my girlfriends along with me, and it just makes it a lot more fun. And I would say fourth, I say mind your company, or in other words, you want to be very careful who you let into your personal life, but also who you let into your business life. Not everyone has good intentions. Even though I would like to think that, but sometimes you want to know, you want to surround yourself with people who think similarly, who have similar values, so they can help to get you where you want to go, and you can help them to get to where they want to go. And
also who think that you're great.
Yes. It has to be reciprocal in that respect. You know, you have to be able to see each other as being successful and making it happen, and have people like that around you. And then lastly, I would say exactly what this canvas says from our empowerment table. It says, proceed as if success is inevitable. So when you wake up every day, you have to wake up knowing that you are going to be successful. So no matter what the situation is at the time, what you might be feeling, you know that you're here for a purpose. You know what it is that you want. You've done your roadmap. You got your resources together. You're very particular about who you have around. And so you know that you're going to be successful. You're setting yourself up to be successful. And so I don't wake up any day saying, I don't know what today's going to be like. No, today's going to be successful. Whatever it brings, it's going to be successful. So I think those are my 5.
And I think they're fabulous. Well, guys, this has been a very timely interview. And I want to thank you so much
Thank you for having
being
me.
with us on
Absolutely.
I'm Making It Happen.
Yes.
Again, this is Khnuma Simmonds-Essanason, owner of My Girlfriend's Closet, also director of Divisac, Domestic
Yes.
Violence and Sexual Assault Council. She's available. You want to learn about how you can help anyone or see the signs before something happens in a domestic situation, definitely contact her organization. And as always, I'm Nicole Tyson. I want to thank you for watching I'm Making It Happen. You can find us on Facebook at I'm Making It Happen, also on our YouTube channel. So definitely keep in contact with our page and stay inspired. And until next time, take care and keep making it happen.
Yes.
So much.
I'm Khnuma Simmonds-Essanason, and I'm making it happen. Are you?